Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of the Furniture with me, Daniel. It's season 18, episode 2, and today we're back for our first Premier League action on camera this season. And it's a very big game as well. At home to top 6 rivals Liverpool, we're trying to get success at the Torquay Stadium. You may be able to notice from the team news at the top that we're actually missing one of our best players, and in fact our skipper today. Liverpool have got a couple out as well, but things are looking pretty even for this match, and it could well be a very interesting game. We've got the third highest goal scoring rate in the league this year, although not one of the best defensively. 5 goals conceded in 5 games. We'd normally like to be a little better than that, but our disciplinary record is exceptional as always, and our new signings are starting to settle in nicely. You can see we're in third in the league, and with a win today we would be just 1 point off the top, but again it looks like Arsenal are going to be our closest rivals. They're flying at the start and they're doing really well, and it looks like the Community Shield final in the last episode is just going to be a one-off this season. In addition to that, we also had our big summer transfer news in the last episode, a few outs that may have been unexpected, plenty of money recouped from sales, and we also signed 2 big new first team players, so do go back and catch up with the last episode to see what we did in the summer, and obviously you can relive that Community Shield final performance. It was a very bizarre game actually, so if you haven't seen it yet, catch up with the season so far. But let's go and have a look at the schedule first to see how we've been getting on in the opening weeks. You can see from the top right of the screen we have had one Premier League defeat. That was a tricky one away at Man United, who otherwise hadn't had the best start to the year. But if we look at the schedule, aside from that we've been brilliant. We've looked good in front of goal, we've scored in every game, and we haven't been too bad defensively. That United game giving us a slightly unwanted record. But you were with me for that Community Shield final, as we won the competition for the first time at the third attempt, and we started with 4 relatively comfortable Premier League games, and all of them had pretty dominant performances. We had a 2-1 win away to West Brom, 3-1 in fact on the opening day, a Alex Andrade brace and Omar with the goals, before a 3-0 win at home to Brighton as well. Yiladian and Silla the wingers with goals in that one, and Malik Kante, who's found a lease of life this year. Brilliant performances so far, taken over Maddie Cater in the first team, and after a big money signing last summer who we didn't know was going to make it, he has come to the party with 3 goals in 5 games, and he's got one of the best average ratings in a team. A 3-1 win away at Newcastle followed, Kante with a brace again in this game, and Silla the left winger with yet another goal, as Andrade started to hit some poor form. But then at home to Watford we did manage a win, this one probably the most difficult of the lot. Omar and Yiladian with the goals, and then Lee Camp making it nervy towards the end. And then a defeat away to Man United, and this one was heartbreaking. We conceded a goal from a corner in the 90th minute, a free header 6 yards out after a really good performance. It was the first game after the international break, and it had rather inexcusably been moved to the Friday night. We were missing loads of key players. The likes of McDonnell wasn't fit, Bacanes wasn't fit, and it was before he got injured, and we also missed a couple in attacking areas, so it really was a bit of a difficult game. And in a 3-0 win followed in a Champions League, we've had the draw and we played the Whipping Boys first. We won against Poli Lassi, I think that is, a Romanian side from the first division. Normally it's Cluj we end up playing in the competition, or one of the Bucharest sides who have made it to the group stages. But Marco Gracia got his first 2 goals for the club. He started his first game and played really well, and Daniel Kozol off the left wing with a penalty. We can always rely on him to play well. And today we play Liverpool in a Premier League match. We know it's going to be a really difficult one, and then we've got the worst possible tie in the Carabao Cup third round with a trip away to Manchester City. The other 2 teams in the Champions League group are absolutely horrendous. Juventus and Borussia Dortmund coming up, who are sure to make it very tough tests for us. So we're going to try and skip through to one of the Dortmund games after this one to show you action from the 2 big competitions this year, and then we'll try and come back for the last one against Juventus, providing that the group isn't wrapped up at that stage. I really want to focus on the Champions League. Of course, you know it's the big trophy that still eludes us, and we've got to work towards winning that one at all costs, even if it means we sacrifice the others. So before we get into this game against Liverpool, I just want to go and show you the transfer centre. We just need to catch up to see if there were any more sales after the last episode. I think we just had one or two go out on loan. In fact, we didn't even have that. It was the end of our business, so no more exciting transfer news. The dynamic screen's starting to improve as a few players have got rid of their issues, and for the first time in ages, there's no one unhappy. Bruno Moraes has got games due to the new left-back's injury. A couple of others like Kante are happy with their game time. And Yaladian no longer wants to move as Barcelona ended their interest. So we haven't got a player unhappy, and it really has shown in our performances. And despite that disappointment against United with a really depleted side, we have started the season relatively well, but today will of course be a big test for us. So we are missing one or two, Bacanes obviously being the key one, and there are a few players struggling for fitness too, and the backup team played in the Champions League, leaving them out of prime condition. Luca Wagner, the first choice left back, really struggled with injury since he's come here. I hope that's not going to be a theme, but we are protecting him today. He's just going to be on the bench for this one, with last season's first choice Moraes starting the match. Wagner did play well in the first few league games though. His average rating shot up after that Community Shield match, so we really are pleased with his progress so far, and Gracia obviously came to the party in the Champions League. But this one's all about Premier League action. We're playing at home to one of our big rivals, Liverpool, and we're hoping to cement a top 4 place by beating some of these sides, particularly at home. So we've got Stojanovic in goal, Cura and Moraes the fullback, staying in their more attacking duties this season. It has worked pretty well so far, so we're going to continue with it for now. McDonald and Singi reunited at centre half, Raphael in the holding role for Bacanes, Kante and Omar in central midfield, Yaladian and Silla on the wings, and then Alex Andrade on his own up front, hoping to return to form after the last few. McDonald I think will be captain today, particularly with Bacanes out, and obviously Daniel Kozzel's on the bench as well, so I think McDonald will be the first choice. Let's go and get into this game against Liverpool and see if we can get a crucial 3 points. It's a 4-3-3 for Liverpool as they've matched us up man for man. Sandoval in the middle, the £150 million signing. But look who's playing in the holding role. Went from Leicester to Liverpool in the summer. It's Juan Manuel Ramos, our former player who was obviously with us for a couple of years. Had a good season at Leicester and now got his move. And he's been a backup player for Liverpool so far. But I'm guessing they've got 1 or 2 injuries today. A really good player, so could cause us trouble. But obviously we let him go because he wasn't good enough for us. He was unhappy a lot of the time as well, so hopefully his poor attitude will haunt him today. We're going to tell the lads to pick up where they left off, just as Stuart Jelling recommended, but it hasn't got the best reaction from the lads, and that's a little bit of a concern over recent games, particularly that United one on the road. Omar tries to get it wide to Silla from the kick-off, but it's given away to Costa. He charges forward and Raphael wins the challenge, and the first highlight ends as both teams had a chance. No shots on goal yet though, so nothing to worry about for either side, and we're just hoping we can nick a win in this one. If we can get clear in the top 4 early in the season, it'll allow us to focus on the Champions League later. We talked about protecting the left-back Wagner, but he's going to have to come on early on. 23 minutes, we haven't seen a highlight, but Bruno Moraes is now off with an injury. It's an attacking free kick for Liverpool, free header for Mendes in the 6-yard box, and is absolutely awful defending. I'm guessing Moraes got injured committing a foul, considering the event that followed it. A terrible start and no shot on target in 25 minutes, so we're going to tell the lads to show some passion. Let's have a look at what Moraes' injury is. Potential foot injury, we hope it's not a bad one, particularly with the lack of fitness at left back. Wagner's really struggled for fitness. It's Costa with a corner for Liverpool. Back to the edge of the box and a shot, just wide of the post, and we're getting outplayed. We haven't had a shot all match yet. It's a free kick for Andrade on the edge of the box, deflects off the wall for a corner. Sandoval the man who got the touch there. We've got a warning to close Costa down, which we will go and do, as McDonald gets a free header from the corner, but unfortunately he's put it just wide of the post. 10 to the break and Liverpool still lead 1-0, and we're yet to even muster a shot on target. They're playing it out short from the back with Mendes, really confident in possession here, and it's a missed interception from Cura as well, as Liverpool are charging forward again. Gebin on the right right wing into Joel, into the left winger who shoots, off the woodwork, Stojanovic was beaten, and we hack it away with a big half-time team talk on the way. 5 shots but none on target for us, and Liverpool have looked by far the better side. Costa on the right side of the area, to Pony with a shot which is tipped over the bar. Liverpool by contrast have had 4 shots on target, and Stojanovic has had to make a couple of good saves. We're really struggling against the big opponents here, and we look awful defending set pieces as well. The stroke of half time, it remains 1-0 to Liverpool, a big team talk on the way, and hopefully we'll get a reaction. That was a really tough half of football to watch actually. We've lost a few games in recent seasons, but never performing that badly. We're going to aggressively tell them to show something else. It's been a pretty pitiful effort so far. The fullbacks are actually doing okay, so nothing to do with their new duties. We're just going to give the lads 10 or 15 minutes to react, and then we'll go and make the other 2 substitutes. We've lost 1 attacking change due to the injury, but hopefully the other 2 can still do the business. It's a corner for Torquay, an outswinger from Omar. McDonnell heads it down, it's a brilliant save. The question from the commentary is that over the line? But I'm guessing not, as most of the lads are frustrated, and I'm really worried that they're quite anxious on the day. We're going to ask them to calm down, and hopefully they'll respond with some composure. In fact, they've all just shown disinterest at our statement, so this could be a very tricky second half. Yaladian gets it on the right to Cura. Can we finally create a clear-cut chance? Andrade shot's blocked, and it's out to Yaladian. He comes through the centre 30 yards out, all the way back to McDonnell when the highlight ends, and we're now going to ask to encourage the lads. Hopefully we've got a chance to give a team talk. So throw into Yaladian and back to Cura, into Silla at the back post. He lost his fullback and he had a free header, couldn't miss from 2 or 3 yards, and both teams have conceded from a defensive set piece. It's now 1-1 and it's completely undeserved on our part. We're going to encourage the boys and see what the reaction is, and we're also going to go and make our last 2 changes. There's clearly 2 standout poor performers. Yaladian on 6.4, he's going to be replaced by Sousa on the right, and Kante the same in central midfield. Maddie Keita, last season's first choice, comes on. Andrade survives up front. If we had a 3rd change we'd make it, but that injury at left back in the first half has cost us the opportunity there. Let's get back into it with 20 minutes left. Hopefully the change will make the difference. Omar with an in-swinging corner, headed away towards Nsingi. He couldn't make it, and now Liverpool are countering. Costa charging down the right for Liverpool, into Gebbin on the edge of the box. Good effort, but it's comfortable for Stojanovic, who does well to hold it at the first attempt to his left. It's a free kick for Andrade 30 yards out. Brilliant effort on target. Pipia gets across and does well to hold it too. Both keepers making some good saves in this game. Omar with a switch ball out to the right to Sousa. What can the substitute muster up? Into Andrade, it bobbles around. Sousa's shot blocked by the last defender, and Liverpool hack it away on the left. Out for a throw with 10 minutes left, and Ramos replaced by a striker for Liverpool. Andrade shoots, what a block! It's fallen to Raphael 12 yards out, just wide of the post. Is agonising stuff. As City lead 2-0 against Newcastle, we're losing ground on all the big boys. Stojanovic with the ball at the back for us. Long ball forward towards halfway. Sousa brings it down as we start a counter. Brilliant ball from Omar out to Cura. The fullback overlaps and finds the byline, and we've scored with Alex Andrade. Ball across the box, is cut back with composure. He could have just drilled it or tried to hook it up, but he cut it back and found the centre forward, and he ends his mini goal drought with a brilliant finish. Andrade smashes it past the Liverpool keeper, and we lead 2-0 with just a minute to go. 2-1 is the scoreline. Wishful thinking the clean sheet there, and now Liverpool are on the attack and we've got to be worried. 2 more minutes of stoppage time to go. Haveli brings it down for Liverpool. Brilliant save Stojanovic. We're going to drop to a balanced mentality quickly and ask the lads to time waste all the time. We know the drill now in terms of our tactical changes. Hold our shape, slow the pace down, drop the defensive line of engagement, and no longer prevent the short distribution. Let's see if we can survive the corner here. We're obviously going to see that highlight. We're not. It's all been survived now. Stojanovic with a short goal kick to McDonnell, and Singy back to the keeper again, and he's going to clear it long downfield. Andrade tries to get there, but he loses out in the air. Raphael recovers possession though. Omar out to the left to Boubacar Silla. He was the man that got us back on track. Omar into Andrade again. Finds Sousa, who could have wrapped it up. Brilliant save by the keeper to his right, and Silla gets it on the left for the rebound. Omar back to Keita. It was a lovely composed pass, but in the end the shot's blocked yet again, and now Liverpool are countering on the left. and Singy with a brilliant challenge out for a throw, as we're going to drop the fullbacks to defensive duties. Omar will drop to support as well. No need for any attacking risks at this point. We got 20 seconds left and we just need to see it out. This could be a brilliant 3 points for the season. 3 clear-cut chances we've created in this half, and we certainly deserve to win it in the end. 21 shots and 8 on target. Not bad for a side that were behind at the break. Let's talk to the lads and try and give them confidence. The attacking fullbacks are definitely working. Pedro Cura with 2 assists there, setting up both goals, and the second was a brilliant one. The cutback for Andrade showed so much composure. The first one was just because Silla lost his man. We've done brilliantly to come back and win it, so we are going to say we're proud of the lads. Stuart Jelling didn't want to give them much praise, but you can't avoid that second half performance. Really good display and an important victory. We're now just 1 point off Arsenal at the top. We've of course played 6 games like everyone else now, so we sit in a pretty decent position early on. Apart from that defeat against United, everything's been rosy, and Wolves are actually the closest competitor for the top 2, otherwise we've got a 4-point gap. That bodes well at this early stage. We've of course got some tough games coming up. We mentioned the likes of Tottenham and Chelsea next month. In addition to the international break and 2 big Champions League games, it is certainly going to be a very tough test. But this month we've got an away game at Aston Villa. We're not going to prioritise the Carabao Cup at all, so we'll come back and look at the schedule in a moment, but let's go and see what the injury news is. Twisted ankle for Moraes, he'll miss a month, so I don't know what we're going to do at left back, as Luca Wagner's not fit enough to play every game. Torquay come from behind to win, certainly deserved in the end. We'll deal with the press conference off camera, certainly go and praise Cura. Created brilliant chances, his passing was a joy to behold, and that pass for the second goal really is the sort of thing that makes me happy. Malcolm spotted at the Torquay Stadium, the Brazil boss watching 3 of our players again. He won't be happy to see Moraes get injured, but the other 2 were certainly stars of the show. I'm hoping that display will improve the dynamics yet further. The dressing room atmosphere and managerial support's gone up, so everything's looking pretty rosy at the moment. Despite the medical centre being poor and missing 2 big players, we seem to be getting on quite well and performing pretty well on the pitch. Let's go and have a look at the schedule then to see what we've got coming up. In midweek we're going to ignore the Carabao Cup. I'll even play a youth player at left back if I have to. I just want to make sure that our first 11 are rested so we can get as far ahead in the Premier League as possible. If we can't win the Champions League in this series, which of course it may be a possibility, the best replacement would be to win a second Premier League title, to show a little bit of dominance in England, to join Arsenal before the series ends. But as we mentioned, we've got a really tough month coming up. After that Villa game, we've got 2 tough Champions League home matches. Dortmund and Juventus are those ones. Tottenham and Chelsea in between in the league, either side of a tough international break. And if it's anything like last time, we won't have everyone fit, and that could make that Chelsea game very difficult. Then at home to Leicester and away to Wolves, 2 games we'd like to win on paper. And then we'll be back away against Borussia Dortmund in the 4th Champions League game and the first one in November. If it's anything like last year, we could wrap up qualification, but we can rest assured knowing the easiest game follows. I'd expect everyone to get the double over Paulie Lassie, so I think it is going to be a little more difficult for us, and we may need 12 or 13 points to get through. So I hope you'll come and join me again for that one, as you'll see our first Champions League action on camera this season. But if you did enjoy this episode and the first Premier League game on camera, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you thought of the comeback against Liverpool. I really thought it was a game of 2 halves. We were fantastic in the second period and just deserved to win. And it was nice to nick it with a brilliant moment of composure. The injury list is starting to worry me, particularly that left back area, but hopefully we'll be able to see through the next month, and then we'll get everyone back to match sharpness. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from this Torquay United story. We'll have new episodes every Sunday to Thursday at 4:30 as we continue to try and win the Champions League. Realistically, this is probably our penultimate year, as FM20 is just a month away, so fingers crossed in one of the 2 seasons we'll be able to get over the line and win the big one. Speaking of FM20, we did have our first video about it this weekend, so do go back and catch up with it. There's a couple of votes in there to help shape the content for the next year, and of course our reaction to some of the features and announcements about some of our plans. We'll also have our new schedule coming up soon, so do keep your eyes peeled for that one. There's also 3 episodes a week from my Cricket 19 career. That's every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at midday. A massive thank you to everyone who continues to support that series, as well as the Ashes Test playthrough beforehand. If you're not up to date, then please do go and check it out, as there's certainly been some exciting moments in that one. Then finally our Snooker 19 career continues. That's every Friday at 4:30. We're showing every round from our final event of the series, the big one, the season-ending World Championships. We'll be showing action from every game until our departure, where of course the series will end. So come and check out how we're getting along on Fridays. Hopefully it'll be a memorable last event. But a massive thanks for watching this one as always, and your continued support with the series, and I hope to see you next time for another important episode as we start our Champions League run on camera.